leadoff man. Brought to you by Elmhurst Dodge, Illinois' largest Dodge dealer because of the people.
Up in the booth at beautiful Wrigley Field, and welcome to 1998 Revisited, because the Cubs, already 2-1, had a very good trip of it in Florida. And we're going to show you the Elmhurst Dodge highlights, and it picked up with a little defense. Take a look at Lance Johnson in center field. He comes on, and then he has to make a pinpoint throw home. Here comes Gary Sheffield. Here comes the throw, and he's cut down by Tyler Houston, and that saves a big run. And then it's Jeff Blauser. He goes through the left side, and Mark Grace, broken toe and all, scoring from second. He beats the throw of Cliff Floyd. The Cubs go on to defeat the Marlins 8-7 and take 2 out of 3. And stay with us, because after these messages, we're going to take you down on the field for opening day ceremonies.
Freno's friend's got a problem with the principal.
She's out of whack because you blackjack?
Nick, how would you handle it?
Better tell her to step back. He's a man.
And on the Parenthood, the school nerd's in love with Zarya. Good thing no one knows it.
Zarya, I love you!
The Parenthood. Bet on Sister Sister, the twins get their very own credit card.
For emergencies only.
You're right. Sister Sister after Freno and the Parenthood.
Sunday night at 6 on WGN.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
And you can tell everybody
The music everyone loves.
this is the song. And I sing it
By the biggest names in music.
wonderful tonight.
Introducing the one and only Love album.
Not alone.
24 classic love songs together on one incredible 2 CD collection.
I'll stand by you.
This is the ultimate love collection.
I'll stand by you. Someone like you.
Every one of these classic love songs comes straight from the heart.
Somebody else.
Call now to order the one and only Love album. Yours now for a special low price. To order the one and only Love album, call the number on your screen or send check or money order for the amount shown to the address above. Rush delivery available.
The introductions are taking place down on a very cold and blustery Wrigley Field, and with the wind blowing in, it sure is a pitcher's day today. And Steve Trachsel said, I don't care how cold it is, I want the wind blowing in, and I think it's going to be a good day. So we take you down to the field where the Montreal Expos are being introduced, preceding our 1998 Chicago Cubs.
Strength and conditioning coordinator Sean Cunningham. And the visiting clubhouse manager, Tom Hellman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing your 1998 Chicago Cubs. The manager of the Chicago Cubs, number 5, Jim Riggleman. And now I'll give you the starting lineup for today's ball game. Playing center field and batting first, number 1, Lance Johnson. Batting second and playing second base, number 12, Mickey Morandini. Hitting third, the right fielder, number 21, Sammy Sosa. Batting in the cleanup spot and playing first base, number 17, Mark Grace. Hitting fifth and playing left field, number 40, Henry Rodriguez. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 4, Jeff Blauser. Hitting seventh and playing third base, number 15, Kevin Ory. Hitting eighth and catching this afternoon's game for the Cubs, number 9, Scott Service. And batting ninth, the starting pitcher for the Cubs this afternoon, warming up in the left field bullpen, right-hander, number 46, Steve Trachsel.
We'll be back with more of the opening day ceremonies and a few surprises for you after these messages.
Hi, I'm Linda Carter, and I'm here to tell you why ordering your contact lenses direct from Lens Express is
such a great idea.
We're America's largest contact lens replacement service. Call now for a free catalog and save up to 50% by ordering direct from Lens Express.
And I get the exact lenses my doctor prescribed or my money back. Now that's
what I call service. I couldn't do without
Lens Express.
Call this number now for a free Lens Express catalog.
Today, Microsoft makes the internet faster. Today, the next wave in internet software is free for a month. Today, you can get online faster and go where you want in no time. Today, the internet is just a click away.
It's the best of times.
See for yourself. MSN Premier is free for a month when you call 1-800-462-2774. Microsoft helps you make the most of the internet right on your Windows 95 base PC with sound, motion, and more. Send email that gets through. Get the news as it happens. Plan and book a trip. Manage your investments. And find exactly what you want with Microsoft Internet Explorer. Call 1-800-462-2774 for your free month today. You'll get a free CD with the latest internet software from Microsoft.
It's just really extraordinary to see what you can do.
And unlimited hours online. Free for a month. So call today, and you're on your way.
Now we'll take you back down to the field where the opening day ceremonies continue.
Number 24, Manny Alexander. And number 37, Brant Brown. Our replacement outfielder, number 20, Matt Mieske. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Chicago Cubs coaching staff. Number 2, Jeff Pentland. Number 3, Dan Radisson. Number 26, Hall of Famer Billy Williams. Number 27, Phil Regan. Number 39, Tom Gamboa. And number 43, Dave Bialis. The Cubs head trainer, David Tumbas. Assistant trainer, Steve Melendez. Strength coordinator, Bruce Hamill. And equipment manager, Yosh Kawano. Ladies and gentlemen, your 1998 Chicago Cubs. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask at this time that you all please rise and direct your attention to the home plate area. Presenting the colors for today's opening day ceremonies, the color guard from the United States Army Chicago Recruiting Battalion. On February 18th, the Cubs organization, the city of Chicago, and the sport of baseball experienced the loss of a legend. Hall of Fame broadcaster Harry Caray spent 16 of his 53-year play-by-play career at Wrigley Field. He forever will be remembered for his unique broadcast style, his zest for life, and love for baseball and its fans. At this time, we ask that you please join us in a moment of silence for Harry Caray. Thank you. And now, please direct your attention to the press box and the WGN-TV booth for a special unveiling that will help keep Harry in the hearts and minds of Cubs fans throughout the '98 season. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join Chicago favorite Wayne Messmer for the singing of both the Canadian and American national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, full patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
A very touching ceremony here, and certainly everyone here with Harry in their hearts. But as he would say, the show must go on. And with that in mind, Chip Caray and I will be back with baseball after these messages.
Guests on the leadoff man receive a handsome piece of jewelry from Henry K. Jewelers. Third level Water Tower Place, Chicago. The Leadoff Man has been brought to you by Elmhurst Dodge, Illinois' largest Dodge dealer because of the people.
The power, very high powered.
The power of the Phantom is phenomenal.
Presenting the powerful Phantom Thunder vacuum cleaner.
It almost looks like your carpet shampooed.
The secret is the Phantom Vacuum's patented dual cyclonic action, driven by a 12-amp motor to devour dirt. And look at this, no bags. This easy-to-empty bin eliminates messy, power-robbing filter bags.
Never want to vacuum with bags again.
Just press a button and you have a cleaning wand. 2 machines in one. Dirt can't hide anywhere. And for cleaner air, the Phantom Thunder has a certified HEPA filter on its exhaust to capture minute dust and household allergens. The 12-amp Phantom Thunder, big on power, long on versatility, a certified HEPA filter, and no bags.
People are going to love to clean after they buy their Phantom.
Call now for a free video and brochure on the Phantom Thunder. There's no obligation and nothing to lose but dirt, dust, and changing filter bags. Call now, and more power to you.
Sister have not only changed nights, they've, well, just changed. See what we mean? How did y'all do that? Now it's easier to tell them apart, but it's still hard to keep them apart.
I don't know why I even tried.
Sister, now on Sundays. Then, Jamie Foxx has a new singing partner, but her preacher daddy doesn't approve.
Come in. Thou shalt not kill.
Mary J. Blige guest stars. Jamie Foxx after Sister.
Sunday night at 7 on WGN. He hates to go shopping.
And it'll take 15 minutes.
Oh, well.
A half an hour at the most.
So in other words, you figure 2 hours?
I promise.
She hates to make a firm decision.
So I'm trying to imagine what it would look like in our apartment.
Do you have one with dog hair already on it?
He says she's afraid to commit.
Because we're going to have it for a long time.
Hey, you're going to have me for a long time, and that decision took 30 seconds.
Boy, did I learn my lesson.
On the next Mad About You.
Tonight at 6. Tiffany's dating a famous comedian?
I haven't missed a single episode of your show.
Neither have I.
Unhappily.
Sunday night at 8 on WGN.
The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
We learned early on that you were one of us. We were wild about you. Take me out to the crowd for its 1, 2, it might be, it could be. For the last 16 years, it was a long, warm summer party in an ivy-covered heaven. This opening day closes out an era all your own. We'll never stretch the same, never win the same, ever again. And the opening we feel most today is the hole we carry in our hearts without you. We'll miss you, Harry. You let us know so well just who you were. You were always one of us, a Cubs fan.
It's time for Cubs baseball. Nothing quite like opening day at Wrigley Field. And today the Montreal Expos have brought that cold weather from north of the border with their bats and balls and gloves, as well as the Chicago Cubs with a 2-1 mark welcome them to the friendly confines. Hi again, everybody. Chip Caray along with Steve Stone. Great to have you alongside for opening day, Stoney, and a lot to be excited about, a lot to be thankful for as the Cubs have started the season in fine fashion.
Well, they've hit the ball all over the place. They've scored 8 runs per game, and Steve Trachsel wanted it cold, and cold it is. The wind is howling in. Wind chill factors in the 20s. And, Chip, I couldn't think of a better way to start baseball. It is Chicago Cub baseball weather.
And I promise we'll keep the windows closed for today's home opener. The Montreal Expos don't have many big names on their ball club. A lot of young players to talk about. They are, of course, Steve, building for the future.
They are that, and hopefully the future is next year for them. The future is this year for the Cubs.
Sounds good to me. It's opening day at Wrigley Field, a cold, blustery afternoon, but we'll have baseball and plenty of it. We'll have the starting lineups and more for the Cubs and the Expos right after this timeout.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN. Brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste. The new Dodge. From cars to minivans to trucks, it's about change. The new Dodge. Ameritech. In a world of technology, people make the difference. Pepsi. Generation Next. ComEd. Providing customers with reliable electric service for over 100 years. And by Southwest Airlines, offering low fares and frequent flights. Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Chicago Cubs.
He's coming.
The child of darkness.
Bringing forth a new world order.
His very existence is a sin.
Absolute evil.
My soul.
And Gabrielle
You are the chosen one.
will deliver him.
I'm carrying a child.
What's inside her must die.
I'll die first.
Battle on, Cena. Saturday at noon on WGN.
Nothing beats fun at the old ballpark. So let the Chicago Cubs make your next corporate or social event a big hit. From the luxurious surroundings of our mezzanine suites to fun in the sun in the right field group section or outdoor patio, Wrigley Field provides the perfect setting for your next group outing. The Cubs also offer preferred general seating packages for groups of 40 or more. For more information on group outing packages, call 773-404-CUBS.
John Lithgow performs the Discover Card Dial-Along song.
An extemporaneous piece.
Provided for your dialing pleasure while you call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2 and apply for your Discover Card, the card with the cashback bonus award that always pays you back.
That was a nice surprise.
And that's music to everyone's ears. It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Here is an easy quiz. True or false? Dodge Caravan is America's best-selling minivan. Good. And right now, Grand Caravan comes with how much cash back? Very good. Now page 2. Check off which features come with this Caravan. Correct. Yet it's still America's lowest priced minivan at just, oh, very, very good. So please circle which minivan you want now. Excellent. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Nothing like opening day at Wrigley Field here on Chicago's north side. A cold, blustery afternoon as the Cubs entertain the Expos. Our first pitch ceremony, gold medal winning hockey players from the U.S. Women's Olympic Hockey Team, Cami Granado and Sarah Tooting, throughout the first pitches here at Wrigley Field. And Stoney, they brought hockey weather with them. It's very windy, very cold, wind chills in the 20s.
If you're a pitcher, this is just the way you like it, with the wind howling in.
Here's a look at our starting lineups. First for the Expos, looking for their first win on the young season. Mark Grutzelanek leads it off at short. Jose Vidro bats and plays second. Then Vladimir Guerrero, his first career 2-home-run game came yesterday against the Pirates. Brad Fulmer at first, Rondell White in left, Scott Livingstone, the third baseman, F.P. Santangelo in center, Chris Widger signed to a contract through the year 2002 in Montreal. And the young pitcher for the Expos, Mr. Javier Vazquez, a very impressive-looking performer, is on the mound.
And the Pepsi defense for Jim Riggleman and the Chicago Cubs. It's Rodriguez, Johnson, and Sosa left to right in the infield. It's going to be very familiar to you. Ori, Blauser, Morandini, and Grace, and a battery of Scott Service and Steve Trachsel. And there's a look at Steve Trachsel, 8-12 last year. He's usually mighty tough here in Wrigley Field. He promised he wouldn't be wearing shirt sleeves. He is true to his word. No shirt sleeves today. And with the wind chill factors in the high 20s, you'd have to believe he can get away with a few high fastballs. And that forkball, especially in on the hands of the hitters, is going to be tough today.
A full house here at Wrigley Field in Chicago. And hey, atta baby, Sammy. What a way to remember Grandpa. That's a pretty cool shade of green with those big old glasses out and right. And it's great to see him having fun. And again, so many wonderful memories of my grandfather, Harry Caray, today. I'm looking forward to hearing Dutchie sing the 7th inning stretch and the fans along as well.
A full house today, and they couldn't be happier with the start of the Cubs. 2-1. You take a look at the division, you realize once again it's up for grabs. This Cub team, averaging 8 runs a game, is going to hit the ball. You know they're going to get better starting pitching than they got in Florida, and things, at least at this point, looking pretty bright for the North Siders.
And so we're just about to get underway with Mark Grudzelanek off to a slow start for the Expos. Steve Trachsel, the veteran right-hander, ready to go, and we're underway from Wrigley. A fastball misses high and away.
Grudzelanek is the best of the Expo hitters against Steve Trachsel, so this is an interesting matchup to lead off the ball game.
They play Grudzelanek around toward right, and he hits a shot into shallow right center field. Sammy is under. The wind plays tricks. He's got it, and there's out number 1. Boy, listen to this place. Last year, I know I wasn't here, Stoney. It must have been very tough, but a lot of optimism about this ball club only after 3 games.
Well, I think the people realize that Ed Lynch and Andy McPhail did a real good job this winter patching some of the holes the Cubs quite obviously had. In fact, they were the busiest team in their division, and it's paid some early dividends. This is a very solid starting 8 on a daily basis, and they will hit the ball.
Here's Jose Vidro, also looking for his first hit and a quick strike.
Vidro hits a lot of balls to left and left center field. He doesn't have a whole lot of power. He is an offensive second baseman. Defense is a problem with him.
And downstairs from Steve, 1 ball, 1 strike. Vidro hit .249 with the Expos in a call-up last year as Felipe Alou, the Montreal manager. Bouncing ball towards short. Easy play, Blauser. 2 down. In games 1 and 3 in Florida, the Cubs starting pitching was not very good, to say the least. In game 2, Mark Clark was spectacular, and the Cubs turned in their most solid team-wide performance.
Well, it was very much hitter's weather in Florida, but you're not going to see that today. This is going to be a very close to the best low-scoring game. And this is one of the bright young stars in the National League, Vladimir Guerrero.
His first career 2-home-run game yesterday against the Pirates, and he can flat out play.
Well, he's nursing a sore hamstring, so he won't have the blinding speed he usually exhibits.
Swung on and hammered deep toward left. Rodriguez back to the wall. He looks up. It's off the basket. Guerrero's got 2, takes the turn, heads for third, and he'll make it with a triple, and he missed another home run by maybe 6 inches.
Well, I told you, this young man can really do it, and there's no doubt if he stays healthy, and he's had a world of leg problems, but if he stays healthy, he's got a chance to be one of the best around. You see this breaking ball hang up there. Guerrero's awfully strong. Henry goes all the way back to what will be the ivy, and this one just misses going out of the ballpark. So in a park that yields very few triples, Guerrero starts off the first inning with a 3-base hit.
And it comes with 2 outs for the youngster Brad Fulmer, who's hitting .375 on the year. So Guerrero at third, 2 outs, and for the first time, Steve Trachsel works off the stretch. And he missed high.
Well, Fulmer in 19 games last year surprised a lot of people in Montreal. He hit an even .300. He doesn't have a lot of power, but he's made great improvements at first base. They got rid of David Segui and his big contract, They're giving Fulmer a chance, and he's a pretty solid hitter.
Foul tipped at the plate. How does this Montreal team do it? Year after year, they're forced to trade or not sign free agent guys with big contracts, and all they do is keep plugging holes with great young talents like Guerrero, like Fulmer. It's amazing how they do that.
They've had an outstanding system for many years, and it transcends the general manager because it doesn't matter who's sitting in that seat. The scouts have been the key. They keep turning up great talent, especially in Latin America.
The 1-1. Swung on, little looper into shallow right center field's going to score a run. So Fulmer singles with 2 outs. Guerrero scores, and Montreal takes a quick 1-0 lead here in the first. First RBI of the season for the Montreal first baseman.
This one is just muscled out into right center field. Trachsel tried to get the fastball inside, and Fulmer strong enough to fight it off and dump it in front of Lance Johnson. You're not going to have to play too deep in center field today for a lot of these hitters because that wind is blowing in pretty briskly.
So runner at first, 1 in for Rondell White, and he takes a strike call.
Well, Rondell White had knee surgery in the offseason, and that's why he's playing left field today instead of center. F.P. Santangelo also had knee surgery, but a couple months before White, and he's a little further along in his rehab.
That missed inside. Count evens 1-1. Montreal 1, Cubs yet to bat here in the top of the first at a blustery Wrigley Field in Chicago. Ooh, what a cut he had. And Steve got it by him, 1-2.
Rondell White, another of those players who came up through the Montreal system, and here he takes a look at some high heat in a good spot. He tied him up inside.
Phil Regan, the pitching coach of the Cubs, hopes Trachsel can turn in a Mark Clark-like pitching performance here in the 4th game of the season. A check swing, he went around, and White strikes out to retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits. Vladimir Guerrero's triple, then the Fulmer single gives Montreal a 1-0 lead after a half inning.
Come on, let's go faster, faster. He's really driving us. He's killing us. I'm pulling away from you. It helps, though. I don't think I could do it on my own. I know. This is the longest I've ever stuck with a workout program. Well, they say motivation is the key. You can do it. Come on, you bunch of bodybuilders. I don't see any sweat.
No wonder you can never get a bike around here.
This is what you're working for.
Lighter yet stronger. More power from less space. More space from less size. A drag coefficient among the lowest in the world. There's more than a pattern emerging here. It's the world's first use of cyber synthesis, where vehicles are designed, built, and tested in the virtual world so they'll perform better in the real world. The new Durango and the new Intrepid. New vision from the new Dodge.
Hey, what's that? What's what? Iceberg! Right ahead!
Need a new fishing boat? New fishing gear? Your favorite auto parts store's gone fishing. Napa's giving away die-wall fishing kits with Yozuri lures at every store and 8 Ranger boats with Evinrude motors. Come on in for the Gone Fishing sweepstakes and sale. Save on Napa motor oil. Now only 59 cents after rebate.
Well, it wouldn't be opening day without Harry Wendelstedt being on the umpiring crew here in Chicago, one of the best in the business. He's got the second base bag in today's game. Here's the Cubs Pepsi lineup. Lance Johnson, what a defensive start to the season he has had in center field. He'll lead it off today with Mickey Morandini, Sammy Sosa, the top 3. Mark Grace, Henry Rodriguez, and Jeff Blauser, who's already scored 6 runs for the Cubs. And how about Kevin Ory, 6 for 13 to start the year. Then Scott Service behind the plate. Steve Trachsel, of course, is on the mound.
And the defense for Felipe Alou and his Montreal Expos, left to right. White, Santangelo, and Guerrero in the outfield, and a good outfield it is. Livingstone, Grzelcyk, Vidro, and Fulmer in the infield, and a battery of Chris Widger and Javier Vazquez, a youngster with overwhelming numbers at AA but no AAA experience. He's a very smart pitcher. He's not overpowering. The fastball around 88, 90 miles an hour. He comes billed as a man who can move the ball around, has a very good straight change and a good curveball, and a lot of people think he's a very impressive young pitcher.
And Lance Johnson set to go, and he takes low and away. Vazquez, just 21 years old, 6'2", 180 pounds, from Ponce, Puerto Rico. And Lance takes a strike.
A lot of scouts around the Grapefruit League in Florida said this was the most impressive young man down there.
Lance, a little flare toward the Cubs dugout, but it's in the seats. And the count's 1-2. Good fielding crowd on opening day, and he didn't even need a glove. That is tough. And it's tough in the shade, too. As a very blustery afternoon in Chicago, wind chills around 20 degrees. 0-1-2. Inside 2-2. On a day like today, my friend, you can light up as many cigars as you want. We'll count them as kindling.
It'll keep things a little warmer up here.
And now Johnson draws a 3-2 count.
Well, this is the thing you worry about if you're Felipe Alou, that your youngster will be very psyched up and lose that pinpoint control that you have to be effective in the major leagues.
Johnson slaps it down the left field line. Rondell White gives chase, but again it's into the seats. Andy McKenna on the right, Andy McPhail on the left. Governor Jim Edgar on hand today at Wrigley Field. They're bundled up as well. The 3-2. Slapper toward third. Scott Livingstone gobbles it up, and Johnson's retired for out number 1.
The Chicago Cubs would like to extend well wishes to Hall of Fame broadcaster Jack Brickhouse, and of course we would like to echo those sentiments. He's recovering from surgery in a Chicago hospital, and our thoughts are with you, Jack. We look forward to seeing you back in the friendly confines very, very soon. And Pat, take care of him.
Andy, let's go. Big year.
1 out for Mickey Morandini, and he takes a quick strike. Boy, how about his hustle play yesterday? Challenging Gary Sheffield on it. Bouncing ball into right field.
Well, he challenged him and would have been out, but for Ryan Jackson at first base getting in his way. In fact, most unusual, twice Morandini was actually out at second base, only to both times be awarded second base.
The 0-2 is low, 1-2.
They might have some problems defensively at second. Livingstone, a pretty solid third baseman. Fulmer improving at first.
And Mickey lays off that pitch, and again it's 2-2. Cubs in a stretch where they're seeing a lot of major league debuts by opposing pitchers. One again on Sunday when Trey Moore takes the mound against Kevin Tapani. Morandini sends a shot into left, but right at Rondell White. 2 down.
Well, gone off the 97 version of the Montreal Expos, Jim Bullinger, Riel Cormier, Darren Fletcher, Mike Lansing, Pedro Martinez, Joe Orsulak, Henry Rodriguez, David Segui, Doug Strange, and Dave Veers. And Chip, year after year, you say the same thing. They lose a host of stars, and yet they come back with, if not a championship caliber team, certainly a good, solid baseball team.
Talking with Dave Van Horn, their broadcaster who's been with them from day one, says this is the youngest and most inexperienced team in Montreal Expos history this season. As Sosa fouls it off his foot down the third baseline for an 0-1 count. That's saying something, for they've had a lot of young players playing prominent roles for Felipe Alou the last few years. And you think back to the strike season when they were running away with the East, what would have been had baseball not shut itself down. A breaking ball misses outside, 1-1 for clearly the Expos were the class of that division.
Well, if you think about it, they lost the #1 pitcher, Pedro Martinez, maybe the #1 pitcher all of baseball. Seguia, quality first baseman. Henry Rodriguez, Mike Lansing, a great second baseman. They lost a lot of talent.
Good breaking ball. And then you go back a couple of years with Jeff Facero, John Wetland, and the list goes on and on and on.
Marquise Grissom, Larry Walker.
Right.
So if you're looking for productive organizations over the last 10 years, you need look no further than the Montreal Expos. They've been close to the top of the heap.
Now the 1-2 to Sammy. He fought that pitch off. And stays alive. 1-2. Well, it's got to be tough on the hitters today. Boy, you're in South Florida. The temperature's in the low to mid 80s, very humid, and then you get off the plane, albeit a couple of hours later than intended, and you step into 20-degree wind chill. He laid off again. 2-2.
One of the things that I'm sure that the Cubs paid attention to is the fact that your legs have to be a whole lot looser here because the wind chill factors are tough, the conditions blustery, and you had all of spring training and then Florida where you felt pretty loose most of the time.
The 2-2. He's dropped sidearm or 3/4, 3 straight pitches, and now he's missed and run the count full. What a difference a year makes, huh?
There's no doubt this offense is vastly improved.
The payoff. Got him swinging. He took something off, and Sammy out in front. 3 up, 3 down, and after 1 at Wrigley. Montreal 1, Cubs nothing.
With AT&T One Rate, it costs $2.40 to make a 16-minute call from Miami to Chicago. With 10321, it's $4.47. With One Rate, it costs $1.20 to make an 8-minute call from Boston to Dallas. With 10321, it's $2.23. Surprised? Don't be. Most calls from home cost less with One Rate, without dialing any extra digits. Now, what state would you rather be in? If you don't have One Rate, get it today.
Introducing a whole new look for Pepsi.
You know we wanna drink P-E-P-S-I. You know we wanna drink P-E-P-S-I. You just open a can, yeah, there's only one choice. So kick back and enjoy. You know we wanna drink P-E-P-S-I. You know
All new look, same great taste. Pepsi, Generation Next.
A lot of times when something goes wrong with your car, you know it right away. But some parts, like shock absorbers, tend to wear out gradually over time. So gradually that many drivers fail to realize just how worn their shocks have become. So rather than wait till it's painfully obvious that you need new shocks, stop by your nearest AutoZone. Right now, when you buy 3 Gabriel Gas Rider shocks or struts, you get the 4th one free, only at AutoZone.
Expos 1, Cubs nothing after 1. We go to the second here at blustery Wrigley Field with Livingstone, Santangelo, and Widger sent to take their cuts against Steve Trachsel.
Now, Livingstone loves to hit the ball to left and left center field. He's always been a pretty good contact hitter. And now that he's healthy, he's going to platoon at third base for Felipe Alou.
And Traxel's first offering to him outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Shane Andrews is going to be the right-hand hitting counterpart in that platoon system.
That's right through there. Wonder how Mark Grace's foot's feeling today. And the arm, too. He got hit by a pitch last night. He said that's about as hard a stinger as he's ever taken in his major league career. It got a big chunk of it. And, of course, still playing with that broken right toe. 2-2.
Big advantage this year, unlike last year when we started on the road. He pulled a hamstring, and he wasn't available when we came back during that 14-game losing streak.
Livingstone, chopper toward first. Mark will handle that. Flip to the pitcher, 1 down.
I think the team as a whole is pretty happy just to be here today, Chip, because an hour into the flight last night when they announced that we had hydraulic problems, had to turn back and go back to Miami, I had the feeling I'd be seeing Harry a little sooner than I would have liked.
Right.
But in the all's well that ends well category, 6 hours after our departure, we landed in Chicago, much to the delight of everybody
there were
on the flight.
Very few complaints.
Yes.
And it's a good thing we won the ball game, too. Otherwise, it might not have been as much fun.
Well, you don't like those adventuresome pilots. If you got a problem, go back and fix it. Don't show me how brave you are.
1 ball, no strikes. To F.P. Santangelo. Little broken bat roller toward first. Grace fields, flips. Oh, what a catch by Trachsel. Good play by Steve to save Grace a throwing error.
Well, you can tell that Mark Grace is not 100% defensively and that he's favoring that foot, because normally he makes his play as well as anybody in the game. And it's a little tender as he moves to his right. This throw high and away from Trachsel, but at 6'4" with those long arms, he's able to corral it, haul it in, and make the play. And we'll watch it again. So 2 up, 2, 3, 1 outs, and 1 out to go to get out of the inning.
And the Expos backstop Chris Widger digs in with 2 down. Widger out of the Seattle Mariners organization. They traded Jeff Facero to Seattle to get this kid. Mariners had Dan Wilson, an all-star, behind the plate, and had no room for Widger and decided to move him and give him a chance to play every day at the big league level.
So far, Widger has had a tough time of it. Cost him a run in the series against Pittsburgh. He let a ball get by that he should have had. And right now, he really hasn't hit his stride. They'd like to see a little more improvement out of a youngster who's got a lot of ability.
The 1-1. High fly ball into right. Sammy comes a charging, pats the glove once, puts it away, and Trachsel has a 1-2-3. Expos second. On to the bottom half we go at Wrigley. Montreal 1, Cubs nothing.
If you're 65 or over and use insulin, call Liberty Medical toll-free now for more information. We're the largest provider of diabetic supplies for people on Medicare. We supply testing strips, lancets, glucose testers, everything, with no upfront expense on the schedule you choose. And delivery's free. You can even choose your favorite name brand products like Bayer Elite.
Call toll-free now, 1-800-992-1331 for more information.
Dude, get down. It's my chair. Let's go. I'm not playing games.
Okay, here we go again.
Oh, dude.
He's got him right where he wants it. Just a bit outside.
Hey, those dog obedience classes really paid off.
Budner, get these tax documents to our clients fast, but watch our costs.
FedEx can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11. UPS can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11.
Priority Mail can deliver it in 2 to 3 days for $3.
Smart move, Budner.
So, 11, 11, 3, what's your priority? Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Things are getting down and dirty on an all-new Hercules. Sunday at noon on WGN.
Grace, Rodriguez, and Blauser here in the second inning against Javier Vazquez and the Montreal Expos. Feels like we're playing in Montreal today. All the parkas and toques and the rooftop barbecue. Yes, indeed. Sights, sounds, and smells of opening day at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
It's a little more like bear weather than Cub weather, but Cub weather it is. And join us as the weekend moves along against Montreal. Terry Mulholland against Mark Valdez. That tomorrow. Kevin Tapani against Trey Moore on Sunday. And Mark Clark against Carlos Perez on Monday. And plenty of seats available for those 3.
Mark Grace to lead it off. And he whacks away at the first pitch and sends it into the upper deck. Boy, you have to admire this guy for all he's done for this Cubs team over the years, but he's playing at less than 100% playing hurt. He wants to win now. And after getting hit yesterday, jackknives out of the way on that Vazquez offering.
He'd just as soon getting plunked again. Keep that out of the equation right now. It's too cold today.
The 2-1. This guy changes speeds pretty well, doesn't he?
He does for a very young man who doesn't even have AAA experience, and that's one of the things that they said about him was he's got great composure and a good feel for pitching. This is a great straight change, and he just swings over it.
And the count now full, 3-2 with Henry Rodriguez, the former Expo, waiting on deck. It's 1-0 Montreal in the second. And Grace aboard with a leadoff walk. Here's a good start in the second. Well, here's the cheer for Henry. Man, what a rocket shot he hit in the opener down in Miami.
And through all of the changes in Montreal and the changes of administration and the changes of faces, the one face that remains the same, Felipe Alou in that dugout. He's one of the best there is, and he gets a whole lot out of his ball club on a yearly basis.
Mark Grace with a very short lead from first as Henry digs in. And he takes low, says Rich Riker, the home plate umpire. Sam Holbrook at first, Jerry Lane at second, Harry Wendelstedt over at third. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-0. Might call the Montreal team the Florida Marlins North. Similar inexperience in the starting staff. A lot of young players in prominent roles. They might have the same kind of seasons, too. The 2-0. Right through there.
There is, however, a vast difference in payrolls when you take a look at the entire payroll of $9.2 million for the Montreal Expos, and that is down there.
Three balls and a strike, but if you count it in Canadian dollars, it's not such a great disparity. But I don't think we can do that. They have a big vote and a big decision to be made in the next couple of months up in Montreal about a new ballpark. Now the 3-1 to Henry. Swung on, hammered high, hammered hard, deep toward right. Back goes Guerrero at the track. He's got room. The wind pushed it back. And Grace has to hustle back as Guerrero, with a terrific arm, hustles him back to the bag.
Well, normally that ball is on to Sheffield, but not today. The wind is howling straight in, and although Henry got just about every bit of that, it stayed in the park. I'm sure Henry thought he got this one. He stood there, took a look at it. Vladimir Guerrero went back. He looked up and realized that the wind was batting it down. He got to the track and then took a couple steps in, and that ball was crushed. And Henry knows this is a small ballpark. He's wondering when it gets that way.
Ah, what Mother Nature sometimes giveth, she also sometimes taketh away. And she took away a 2-run homer there from the Cubs, and Jeff Blauser will try to keep the inning hopping here. Jeff off to a very good start, 4 for 11, and has scored 6 runs in 3 games.
Vazquez has fallen behind every hitter this inning, and that is not characteristic of the young man.
Blauser, line drive, left center field. So there's the first Cub hit, and the hottest Cub of all to start the year is the man coming to the plate.
This is a fastball right down the middle, and Jeff Blauser just takes it softly into left center, and a chance for the Cubs to tie it up.
And Kevin Ory is that man. 6 for 13, 3 doubles, a homer, 5 RBIs. And just missed hitting for the cycle down in Florida.
They've got some pretty decent arms in the outfield for Montreal. In fact, this is one of the better throwing outfields in the major leagues right now. So probably a test for Mark Grace on a hard hit single.
Ori sends a drive toward left center field. Santangelo's got room, though. That ball was really hammered. Grace thinks about tagging, goes halfway, and scampers back to second. Mr. Vazquez is getting a little help from Mother Nature here.
Well, this is not the day to hit high fly balls. You can take it out of the ballpark hitting line drives, but if you get it up in the air, the wind's going to knock it down. And this fastball, a little higher than Mr. Vazquez would have liked. But Santangelo right there, and Mark Grace thinks otherwise about going to third. So Kevin Ori continues to sting the ball, but not much to show for it on the first at bat.
So it's up to Scott Service if the Cubs are to pick up a run here in the second. And the breaking ball is inside. Mark Grace at second. Jeff Blauser is at first. 1-0. Montreal has the lead.
The outfield not playing overly deep for Scott. So it's up to Mark Grace to get a good lead and a good jump at second on a hit.
He's got a big lead, and the breaking ball missed inside. This young man, Vazquez, looks to be struggling with his control. Widger was setting up inside, or outside, I beg your pardon, and that ball dangerously close to cutting over the heart of the plate.
Well, this entire inning, he's really gotten behind many of the Cub hitters, and that accounts for the real good swings that the Cubs have had at him. If he stays behind, Cubs will get to him.
The 2-0 is outside. 3-0. He's being careful as the pitcher, Steve Trachsel, waiting on deck. Tom Gamboa flashing the signs down at third. Steve Trachsel, he's a man's man, taking off that jacket this early.
I would think you'd have the 3-0 green light with the pitcher up next. There's no reason not to let him swing if he gets a pitch to his liking.
We'll never know. He took it a foot outside, and the base is loaded for Trachsel. So Blauser to second, Grace to third, and Trachsel a chance to help himself.
You get a pretty good hitting pitcher here in Steve Trachsel, so you can't take him for granted. He's not an automatic out, and last year at times he did help himself.
Vazquez works off the stretch with the bases full. And Steve takes a strike. Lifetime Trachsel, a 161 hitter. A breaking ball. That's not fair. That'll get you tossed out of the pitcher's union. It's 0-2.
Well, now what you have to hope is that he throws another breaking ball in the dirt and it gets by Widger. There's really nothing Trachsel can do with this one. Sharp breaking pitch, and to head 0-2, you sometimes try to get a little too much on the breaking ball. Let's see if Widger is put to the test.
The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball hit toward third. Livingstone has it cleanly, steps on the bag, and that retires the Cubs in the second. No runs, one hit. 3 men left after 2. Montreal has a 1-0 lead.
I went to my first rodeo when I was 60. Fell in love with it. So Bill and I fly to rodeos on Southwest Airlines. With fares this low, we are getting to be regulars. Bill wishes I would stay home and play bingo.
B11.
I tell him as long as Southwest is flying, I'm riding.
You are now free to move about the country.
Nobody does it like you.
Wind tunnel by Hoover is here. It's breakthrough technology. Tests show it picks up more dirt than any other clean air upright.
Nobody.
Wind tunnel by Hoover.
does it like you.
Budner, get these tax documents to our clients fast, but watch our costs.
FedEx can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11. UPS can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11.
Priority Mail can deliver it in 2 to 3 days for $3.
Smart move, Budner.
So, 11, 11, 3. What's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Irresistible. Luscious. The new 99-cent Great Tastes menu at Burger King. 7 mouth-watering items, just 99 cents every day. What could be more tempting?
Are you going to eat all that?
Yeah.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Expos by 1 on the home opener here at Wrigley Field. And Cubs fans, make sure you get your magnet schedule this opening day weekend as the Expos continue to remain in town. You haven't missed your chance yet. They'll be given out to the first 20,000 adults tomorrow and Sunday as well. For tickets, stop by the Wrigley Field box office, any Ticketmaster Ticket Center, or call 312-831-CUBS. Before the pitcher, Javier Vazquez comes to the plate. Let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
With Steve Stone, Chip Caray from Wrigley Field here in Chicago. Steve Trachsel and the Cubs trailing 1-0 as Vazquez takes a quick strike to open up the top of the third. And that's downstairs. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Trachsel says, you're going to throw me a breaking ball, I'm going to throw you one too. And the count is 1-2. Swing and a miss. Second Trachsel strikeout, and he retires the pitcher to open up the third. And back to the top of the order we go with Grudzelanek and Vidro due next.
This entire team only has 2 players making over $1 million. Rondell White at $2 million. Carlos Perez $1.5 million. Then it drops all the way down to Uget Urbina, who signed a long-term contract for $550,000 a year, and that was a major step for Montreal, tying up their closer for a multi-year deal. They're not known to do that.
And again, we talked about that stadium vote up in Montreal. If it does not happen, if it's voted down, and at best they say the odds are 50-50 up there that it will get passed. You keep hearing conflicting reports that, well, the Expos will either be sold or Claude Brochu will take the team and remain in an ownership capacity and go somewhere else. But the question is, where does he go?
And that is a difficult question. But talking with a couple of broadcasters from the Montreal organization, they said that as far back as a couple of months ago, Claude Brochu said it was 50-50, but talking to him just the last week, he said it's moved up to now 70-34. He says he's feeling some sentiment from the corporations in Montreal that they would like to get behind this team and keep it there by building a new facility.
The 2-1-2. Grudzelanek is hammered toward right. Sammy broke in, now breaks back, takes a one-hop off the warning track. Sosa fires it in quickly, and it's a stand-up one-out double.
I think you have to keep your eye on the winds here, and today they're shifting from blowing straight in to blowing across toward the right field corner. Sammy was fooled by that one. It was hit a little harder than he thought. A high fastball drifting away from him, and you see Sammy took the step and a half in, and it cost him. This one sailing away into the corner, and Grudzelanek on his way for 2. And there's a man that will record 30 to 40 doubles this year.
Had 54 of them last year. And his first of 98 here today. So Jose Vidro, the batter, with a chance to give Montreal a second run. No balls and a strike. That missed outside, 1-1. Up and down year last year for Steve Trachsel, the Cubs pitcher this afternoon. Very good here at Wrigley Field. He really struggled away from home. Bouncing ball to the right side. Morandini has it. He'll throw on Vidro. Rudzelanek moves over to third.
There's a lot of people that thought that Orlando Cabrera was going to be the second baseman this year because the talented youngster out of Cartagena, Colombia, came up highly touted, but he just didn't hit in the spring, and it was up to Vidro to fill the gap at second base. So he moves along Grzelcyk, but now there are 2 outs.
But you have to watch out for this guy. He is Montreal's Gary Sheffield. Vladimir Guerrero, who just missed a solo home run his first time up. It was scored a triple, and then he scored on the Brad Fulmer single. And a strike.
Vladimir has a brother Wilton who plays for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Vladimir, very much the more talented of the two.
I don't think he has to cork his bat to hit it a long way.
He's a lot bigger and a lot stronger.
0-2. Boy, he almost swung out of his shirt.
A lot of people liken Guerrero to a young Andre Dawson, and that is a Dawson-like cut.
Rudzelanek at third. 2 men out. The 0-2. Bouncing ball to second. We ought to be out of the inning. We are. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. Trachsel pitches around the 1-out double, and on we go to the bottom of the third. Top of the order. Johnson, Morandini, and Sosa will try to even up the score.
Class, beg, roll over, sit, sit, sit.
Even the best trained pets can leave tough odors in your carpet. So get Arm & Hammer Carpet and Room Deodorizer with the power of baking soda. Look, our odor detector shows strong pet odors. Then we use Super Pet Fresh. It doesn't just cover up odors like ordinary deodorizers. See? It eliminates them with baking soda. No buts about it. If you've got pets in a carpet, you need Arm & Hammer Pet Fresh.
Fetch.
Hey, what's that? What's what?
Iceberg right
Need a new fishing boat? New fishing gear? Your favorite auto parts store's gone fishing. Napa's giving away dive-wall fishing kits with your Zuri lures at every store. And 8 Ranger boats with Evinrude motors. Come on in for that Gone Fishing sweepstakes and sale. Save on Napa motor oil. Now only 59 cents after rebate.
Frank, I'm thinking about moving to another swamp.
Oh, really?
I'm just not comfortable living in a swamp where assassination attempts are taking place. Every loon with a vendetta, every snake with a sinus headache frightens me.
Hey, snap out of it, Louie. Everybody knows it was you.
Oh, Frank, I had no motive. I love Budweiser, and I love the frogs.
Oh, yeah, you're good buddies. I forgot.
Excuse me, if you would remember last summer, I invited them to that barbecue.
Yeah, well, Louie, you wanted to cook them at that barbecue.
But at least I invited them.
Oh.
You wouldn't have invited them at all.
A participating advertiser for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is the Discover Card. Discover Card, the card that pays you back with a cashback bonus award.
Bottom of the third inning, top of the Cubs order. It's 1-0 Montreal here on opening day at Wrigley. It's a little cool, but man, oh man, what a great reception for the Cubs.
And the cool weather, it certainly didn't diminish the reception that the Cubs got from their fans. I think everybody very happy with the opening series, certainly very happy with the offense, and the fact that the Cubs over 500 and looking at Montreal coming in for 4, looks like could be a pretty good beginning to this 1998 season.
Lance Johnson began the game by bouncing out to third his first time up, and the third inning is underway with a strike. See if the second time through the order is a bit more beneficial for the Cubs.
They're playing Lance very shallow and around toward left center, and he can turn on the ball and hit it to right center off Vazquez.
He pulls that ball toward right, but Guerrero has a bead. And there's one out. One out for Mickey Morandini. Mickey flied to left his first time. Already 4 fly ball outs on a windy day by the Cubs. And Morandini smacks that into center. Coming on and making a play is Santangelo.
Well, that's why FP is a very valuable man. Here's a guy that can play second. He can play third. He can play every outfield position. And seemingly anywhere Felipe puts him, he does a great job. That looked like a base hit when it left the bat of Morandini. But FP Santangelo, the man that the Cubs have known as the little pest, comes on and takes it away. And this is a fine running effort.
So 2 up, 2 down now for Sammy Sosa, a strikeout victim his first time. Sammy with 6 strikeouts and 15 at bats already on the year. Chops that one foul past the third.
One of the things that Jeff Pentland, the hitting instructor, is trying to get Sammy to do, if he can, is hit the ball out in front a little more so you don't hook as many balls foul. It sounds strange because to do that, he wants him to weight back somewhat and not jump out on the front foot and then have to go get the ball. If you do that, you really fall victim to the off-speed breaking ball.
A ball and a strike.
We saw Gary Sheffield able to hit the ball down the left field line. It just stayed there. It didn't hook. And Pentland would like Sammy to do much the same thing because he probably hits 30 or 40 balls foul out of the ballpark every year. Just get 10% of those and you've raised your total.
That caught the outside edge. 1-2. This young man, Javier Vazquez, really changing speeds well today.
Hard to believe you're looking at a young pitcher who only has AA experience. He looks like a polished veteran out there.
Breaking ball bounced weakly towards second. Pedro makes the play. And the Cubs retired in order in the third. On we go to the fourth. It's a 1-run Montreal game.
A lot of times when something goes wrong with your car, you know it right away. But some parts, like shock absorbers, tend to wear out gradually over time. So gradually that many drivers fail to realize just how worn their shocks have become. So rather than wait till it's painfully obvious that you need new shocks, stop by your nearest AutoZone. Right now, when you buy 3 Gabriel Gas Rider shocks or struts, you get the 4th one free, only at AutoZone.
Another breakthrough from the 1-hour labs of LensCrafters. New Invisibles anti-reflective lenses from LensCrafters reduce glare, so you can see better while driving at night. New Invisibles, only at LensCrafters, made in about an hour.
Wow, that was almost as good as the Jolly Rancher.
Jolly Rancher, it's intense.
With all its room, power, and payload, a Dodge truck can go just about anywhere. Right now, your Dodge dealer is taking this truck someplace a Dodge truck rarely goes. On sale. Announcing the National Dodge Truck Sale, where you can lease this Dodge Ram loaded with a mighty Magnum V8, air, and an automatic for just $229 a month. Or you can lease this hot Dakota Sport for just $199 a month and get a Magnum V6 at no extra charge. Select Dodge trucks now on sale at your friendly Dodge dealer.
On the Parenthood, the school nerd's in love with Zarya. Good thing no one knows it. Zarya, I love you! The Parenthood, Sunday on the WB.
We go to the 4th inning, and we're joined, Steve Stone, by a very special guest here in the booth, the governor of the state of Illinois, Jim Edgar. Great to have you here on opening day.
It's great to be here on opening day, and it's great to see this crowd and no snow.
And no rain either.
No rain, that's right.
Can you do anything about the temperature?
Now, listen, just be happy with this. This is a pretty nice weather for a Cub opener.
Well, you've done a pretty smart thing already. You've left the stands and come up into the booth. It is a little warmer up here today.
It's a lot warmer up here, I have to say. It was much nippier out down there than I thought it was going to be. But get something going at the Cubs when they get up to bat next time. That'll warm the crowd up.
That sounds good to me. Brad Fulmer's the leadoff man here in the 4th inning. He has the game's only run batted in so far. And Trachsel with a good job of fielding his position, 1 out.
How many openers have you had the pleasure of seeing?
Well, this is my 8th year as governor. I think I've only missed 1 opener. And then I was Secretary of State for 10 years and probably made at least half the openers then. So one of the good things in public office is you do get good tickets. You know,
right.
I doubt next year when I'm out of office, I'll probably have as good opportunities to see as many sporting events. But, you know.
Rondell White, the batter, he pops it up on the right side. Let's see if the wind will blow it back into play. It won't. And it's a quick strike to White.
Well, regardless of what you're doing next year, Chip and I will extend the invitation to come up into the booth anytime.
I look forward to that. Hopefully I'll have a little more time to do the more important things in life, like taking a baseball game and enjoy the fun things in life.
How's your singing voice? That's the question.
Well, I'm not going to do any good there. I'll look forward to listening to you guys sing.
You're in good company then. There's no question about that.
I got a 2.5-year-old grandson that can sing that song very good. He used to watch Granddad on television, and he did a good job of singing it too. But he gets that from his mother's side of the family.
Get him up here. We're going to need some help as the season goes on. 2 strikes to Rondell White in Montreal 4th. And again, that's foul. Well, how about the excitement around this Cubs team?
Oh, I was just going to say, you must have had a really exciting day yesterday. That was a great comeback, being down that much, and should be a real boost to the team, and I'm sure it was a boost to all the fans. You know, I have to say, this is a lot better opening game this year than what we were thinking about last year at this time. So I think everybody's very upbeat.
Steve misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think it also means that the warm weather is right around the corner, or we hope it is. And the Cubs are off to a very solid start this year. This is going to be an exciting team because they're going to score a lot of runs.
Trachsel strikes him out. Good pitch.
Well, you could tell that already this game. I mean, it's just the only thing that's kept the Cubs from having a lot of runs is the wind so far, because they've hit this pitcher good. It's just unfortunately that wind's kept him in the park.
Steve Trachsel throws a good forkball. And no chance at all for Rondell White. We'll watch it again from the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera. High overhead. Rondell White mystified by the forkball.
So 2 outs, bases empty for Mr. Scott Livingstone, I presume. He bounced out his first time up. Mark Grace fielded it, flipped to the pitcher, and he was out by a mile. Good pitch.
Are we going to get a chance to see you back at Wrigley Field at all this year? I know you certainly have your hands full.
Oh, hopefully sometime this summer I'll get back. I might wait for the temperature to get a little warmer.
I can't blame you there.
No question. Livingstone sends a shot toward left. Henry Rodriguez is there. He's got it. And the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down in our 4th inning. We need to get some runs, Mr. Governor. Let's see if you can help us out in the bottom half of the inning.
On the next night, man.
Do you believe in magic?
Something beautiful, something seductive.
Something's wrong.
Something deadly.
Don't let her evil deceive you.
When you can't believe what you see.
Get back! She's evil. Dangerously evil.
When you can't see a way out.
I saw you executed 5 years ago.
You can believe
Come and get me, Nightman.
in Nightman.
Sunday night at 10:30 on WGN. It's an all-out war on the next adventures of Sinbad. Sunday at 12:30 on WGN.
WGN, 50 years as Chicago's very own.
Here's an easy quiz. Which car has the highest horsepower and most interior room? Good. And with $1,500 cash back, which car has the lowest price? Very good. Or instead of cash back, Dodge Neon comes with what low financing rate? Very, very good. And what can this rate save you over 60 months? Correct. So please circle which car you want now. Excellent. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Come on, let's go faster, faster. He's really driving us. He's killing us. I'm pulling away from you. It helps, though. I don't think I could do it on my own. I know. This is the longest I've ever stuck with a workout program. Well, they say motivation is the key. You can do it. Come on, you bunch of boss brothers. I don't see any sweat.
No wonder you can never get a bike around here.
This is what you're working for.
The heart of the Cubs order is set to battle here in the 4th inning. This is the group that hit the daylights out of the ball back in the 2nd. And the fans out in the bleachers and beyond ready for an eye-opening inning, as Mother Nature knocked down a couple of long fly balls that would have been sure homers. Now we'll see if Mark Grace, Henry Rodriguez, and Jeff Blauser can at least equal the score here on this frosty afternoon. Opening day here at Wrigley. Javier Vazquez set to go. And so's Mark, who walked and was stranded back in the 2nd. And he takes a quick strike.
Well, second time around, you have a pretty good idea about what the pitcher is doing. Vazquez making some very good pitches. The second time around, let's see if the Cubs have better swings at him.
Grace has one there. Line drive into left field. When you face a guy for the first time, Steve, like a Vazquez, Cubs, of course, train in Arizona. Montreal down in Jupiter, Florida. Who has the advantage the first couple times around?
Well, very much to the advantage of the pitcher the first time around. For instance, Mark Grace took a look at him. He drew a base on balls, but then he had a real good idea of the velocity and the movement of the fastball. So he realized his fastball tailed away. He just served it out into left center field. And we'll see now if the Cubs can break through this second time around. They should have a better look. They know that the fastball does tail away from the left-handers.
Vazquez to Henry, fooled him that time. If he could hit the same ball in this at-bat that he hit in the 2nd, he's going to have a home run. When he was up the first time, the wind howling straight in. Now it's blowing toward right, which is the direction he hit the ball.
Well, you have to hope that if he does hit the ground ball, Gracie can break it up at second base.
The breaking ball bent around the plate. What a job Jim Riggleman did yesterday managing this ball club. Every button he pushed was the right one.
He started Tyler Houston. He drove in 4 runs. That was great for starters.
Henry swings and misses.
And when you look at what he did with the bullpen, you know, anytime your starter leaves so early, then you really have to begin to mix and match out of that pen. He got a tremendous outing from Amari Telemaco. In fact, 2 good outings from Telemaco in Florida. And then he mixed and matched in that bullpen and eventually pulled even and won a stirring game as far as the Cubs are concerned.
Down 6-0 to win it 8-7. Now the 1-2 to Henry, and he just did get a piece. The bullpen was awesome. The Manny Alexander pinch hit home run, the first ever in his career, and he hit it in a perfect spot, 2 feet either way, and it's a double. But the fates were kind on the Cubs yesterday as we won the season series. The 1-2. Henry pops that up into shallow left center field. White comes on, still coming, makes the grab. And there's out number 1.
Well, today the Chicago Cubs announced that they're going to have some guest conductors. As you know, Dutchy Carey is going to do the honors today. And already committed Ernie Banks, Gary Barnett, Bonnie Blair, Chip Carey, Chris Carey, Jimmy Collins, Tom Greason, Roger Ebert, Dennis Franz, Pat Hughes, Randy Hundley, Jay Leno, Joe Montana, Wayne Messmer, as well as Steve Stone, who will do a terrible job of that rendition. Vin Scully and Ron Santo and Lou Rawls and Pete Von Aken and Rick Sutcliffe, Chris O'Donnell, Walter Payton, Father John Smith, and a host of others.
Jeff Blauser, the hitter. I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. If you do a duet with me, I'll do a duet with you.
Well, I think that that's the only way to do it, because then they can look up here and not realize who really is worse than who.
That's a perfect plan, I think. 1 ball, no strikes. Grace is going, hit and run, swing and a miss. Widger's throw is awful. And Mark Grace, broken toe and all, steals the bag, and Widger a little bit shaken up and disappointed with himself as he released that ball. He's got the glove and the helmet off.
We told you that Widger has had his problems behind the plate. And Mark Grace, with the golden wheels, easily makes it to second. I'm honestly quite surprised that he's not asking for the bag, because Mark Grace doesn't get too many of these. In fact, last year, a grand total of 2, so he's 50%. And there is Widger, National League trailers and caught stealing.
So a base hit from Blouse here could tie the game with the speedy Mark Grace at second. Breaking ball, and he missed that.
You know, there was a time last year, and I'm not sure if these numbers are correct, but I'm close, that 80 of the first 88 base stealers were successful against the catching combination of the Montreal Expos. So that's one thing that they consistently give you. Now, a lot of it had to do with the pitchers they put out there, but certainly a lot of it had to do with the men throwing the baseball.
The 1-2. Blauser, high fly ball into center. That's going to be caught by Santangelo. And there's out number 2. And 2 outs in the 4th for Kevin Ory, who swung at the first pitch he saw and rifled it into center field, but it was caught as well.
This will be an interesting at bat. You've got a youngster on the mound. I'm not sure how familiar he is with just how hot Kevin Ory has been. You've got first base open. You've got Scott Service, who isn't quite as hot as Kevin Ory, in the on-deck circle. So let's see if Ory is given anything too good to hit. You know, Felipe Alou has seen the charts, and he knows that Ory is hitting everything in sight.
Grace a huge lead at second now. And the off-speed delivery is in for a strike.
Well, with the outfield in fairly shallow all the way around for Ory, which is somewhat surprising, if he gets a hard hit base hit, Mark Grace is going to have to really hustle to score, especially if it's to right field and if it's the arm of Vladimir Guerrero.
The 0-1. Breaking ball is pulled foul. So Ory really has to protect the plate with the count of 0-2. The Cubs with 2 hits on the day. They've received 2 walks. They've stranded 3 runners. It's still a long way to go this afternoon for Jim Riggleman's ball club. As the Cubs try to go to 3-1, Montreal seeking its first win of the year. 0-2 to Ory. The pitch. Protects the plate. Slow roller toward short. That's a tough play. Kevin, he'll leg out. Wild throw. And Grace is going to score. Thank you, Grandpa. We'll take it. It's 1-1. Base hit, E6, no RBI, and we're tied at 1.
I'm real surprised that Mark Grudzielanek decided to throw this ball, because there was no way in the world to get Kevin Ory. This is one you just put in your pocket on this high infield grass. Just concede the base hit. But Grudzielanek threw it away, and he'll make a few more of these this year. And Mark Grace scores easily, and once again he does it with his great speed.
I think I can. I think I can. And indeed he could, to tie the game at 1. So Ory stays at first, and Scott Service the batter. And a quick throw over to first.
That's just a bad thought process from the Expo shortstop, who is a veteran player, although a young player. And it cost the Expos a tie game.
Off the end of Service's bat, and the count is 0-1. Well, it's good to see the Cubs taking advantage of opposition mistakes. They did that a lot in the Florida series. They pick up a gift run here to tie the game on a Montreal mistake today.
Well, you're not going to see too many Mark Grace stolen bases, but that one was certainly welcome.
0-1 to Service, and a fake toward first. I guess Mark's been listening to Top 40 Radio, that song, I Believe I Can Fly. It must have soaked in over the last couple of months.
Kevin Ory only stole a couple of bases last year, so he's not the man you really worry about at first too often.
Outside, it's 1-1.
Just the fact that Mark Grace is playing with that sore arm and broken toe, testament to his toughness.
A ball and a strike. Snap throw to first. Kevin back standing up. I'm just proud of him that he's not sitting next to an oxygen tank. Scott Service walked his first time against Vazquez. And now the 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. This next delivery will be number 60 as Woodger looks into the Montreal dugout to get the sign. Swung on, hammer, deep left center. Nobody's going to get that. Ory's going to score. Service has a double, and the Cubs take a 2-1 lead. That ball was really smoked.
Scott Service drives in his third run of the year, and he does crush this low fastball. F.P. Santangelo with a good run and a good effort, but the dive comes up short. And Kevin Ory flying around the bases. Tom Gamboa giving him the go-ahead, and the Cubs have the go-ahead. They lead by a run at 2-1.
And again, they do the damage with 2 outs. Something they did quite frequently down in Florida. And of importance, too, it allows the pitcher to bat in this inning. Steve Trachsel, line drive, center field, base hit. Here comes Service around third. Santangelo up. His throw. It's not in time. And Trachsel poked over at first. It's a 3-1 lead, and this crowd going nuts.
Steve Trachsel, indeed a pretty good hitting pitcher, takes it right back up the middle. And Scott Service, not known for the golden wheel, scores all the way from second. And happy New Year, Chicago Cubs, because they are putting a hurting on the Montreal Expos on a tough day to score runs.
Scott Service scores the third run, and the Montreal bullpen starts to get busy as the Cubs starting to clock Mr. Vazquez. Lance Johnson, the top of the order. He swings, bouncing ball toward first. Good play by Fulmer, and that retires the side. But the floodgates open after the Grudzalonic error. 3-run score on 4 hits. And after 4, the Cubs now have the 3-1 lead.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Hoover. Nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. Nobody.
What do you get when you fly Southwest Airlines? Fun fares.
Well, you've waited so long for a fare to get so nice and low now. You really should fly.
Light up the night. Southwest Airlines fun fares are so low. Want to see that again? Now you can fly just for the fun of it.
With us, 'cause we got a lot of things to do now. You really should fly. And you'll have fun, fun, fun flying Southwest on a fun fair today. Fun, fun, flying on a fun fair today.
Hey, what's that? What's what?
Iceberg! Right ahead!
Need a new fishing boat? New fishing gear? Your favorite auto parts store's gone fishing. Napa's giving away die-wall fishing kits with your Zuri lures at every store and 8 Ranger boats with Evinrude motors. Come on in for the Gone Fishing sweepstakes and sale. Now get Max Car Care products, your choice, for only $1.69.
A participating advertiser for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is the new Dodge. From cars to minivans to trucks, it's about change. The new Dodge.
Unfortunately, most drivers are hitting the same place every time. And it's usually when the car insurance bill arrives. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. You may never need your car insurance company early in the morning or late at night. But we offer 24-hour service anyway. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Steve Trachsel helps himself with an RBI single, and the Cubs lead it 3-1 after 4. Another guest in the booth, George Ryan, the Secretary of State of the state of Illinois. A real fan to be here on this blustery day.
Cold day, but it's a hot day on the field this last inning. The Cubs are doing great.
So far, so good, huh?
Yep, looks like they're going to win this one, too.
Well, Steve Trachsel has thrown the ball very well, and this offense is going to generate some runs. They average 8 runs a game coming into today, and even though today very much is a pitcher's day, the Cubs are hitting the baseball pretty well.
Cubs have been hitting the ball very well today, and long, too.
Now as a newcomer to the state of Illinois, what do I need to know? What can a Secretary of State tell me that I must know as I begin?
Well, there's a couple things that you have to know. First of all, you got to get an Illinois driver's license.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
And to do that, I brought you the book.
Oh, all right.
Right here. Rules of the road.
The rules of the road. I love it. I love it.
We'll be glad to help you out. I want you to study hard. You'll have to take the written exam and the eye exam.
Now you got to remember, I'm a University of Georgia graduate, so the reading part might be a little.
So he can't pass the intelligence test. So the eye test, he's got a chance.
The other thing you have to do, Chip, is you have to sign up to be an organ donor.
Okay.
And that's pretty easy to do. You just sign the back of your license, and we'll put you in the computer, and you can become an organ donor. It's an important program we have here.
I'll be glad to do that.
And April is Organ Donor Month nationally. In Illinois, we have about 3,500 people that are in need of an organ. And across the nation, about 8 people a day die waiting to get an organ. So we've got the best program in the nation in Illinois, and we'd be delighted to have you sign up to be a part of the program.
Well, I'd be glad to do it as Santangelo sends a drive to left, and Henry makes a basket catch with that cesta on the right hand. And there's out number 1 here in the top of the 5th inning.
Well, Henry not known for his great glove work, but this is a tough play. The wind is blowing the ball away from him, but he just goes back and robs his former teammate of a 2-base hit.
And now the catcher, Chris Widger, the number 8 man in the lineup, is in the box. Widger flied out to right. He's looking for his first hit on the year. He's 0 for 7. And he fouls that one out of play. Boy, some great fans here today. I'll tell you what, it's amazing to see these folks out here all bundled up on the open.
It's not unusual, Chip. The Cub fans are true blue fans. They're not fair weather fans. They're here today.
All I want to know is I kept reading the temperatures. When we were in Arizona, it was 77, it was 75. What happened?
I don't know. Maybe you guys came back and had something to do with it. I don't know.
We tried to bring the weather back with us, but somehow it wouldn't fit in the plane. Could have used 20 or 30 of those degrees today. But the Cubs' bats have stayed hot at least. Widger chased a bad ball. He's in an 0-2 hole.
Looks to me with the bullpen up and going, perhaps they've gotten all they want to get out of Vazquez today. But he is in the on-deck circle.
Now, I've got to ask you, Mr. Ryan, I've heard all these stories about my grandfather's driving ability, or his lack thereof, as that ball's flied into right. Sammy is there. He's got it for out number 2. Steve, you can jump in here, too, because I never got a chance to ride with him.
Let me tell
Mom and Dad wouldn't let me.
The Good Driver Award every year. Every year he was a recipient of the Good Driver Award.
I think you only did that because you never drove with him. I did drive with him once, and I pledged I would never do that again.
Well, I wouldn't comment on that. He was a good driver. We don't give the Good Driver Award out to everybody.
Well, I promise to study the rules of the road. And I will get my license just as soon as I can as Vazquez swings and misses. How do I go about doing that? Vazquez, no balls and a strike.
Ask your grandmother.
Sounds good. The 0-1 pitch is chopped foul and out of play. Another cigar smoker up in the booth, too, I understand.
Occasionally, not very often.
Well, I told Steve, this is one of those days where you can have as many as you want because it's like kindling. It keeps the place a little warm.
Warms up.
And we could use a few more degrees up here, although it's a lot better than it is down in the stands today.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. You're the good luck charm so far. We were trailing before you came up. And the Cubs get 3 and head to the bottom half with the lead.
Gentlemen, thanks very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, and good luck to you. Come visit us anytime.
You can't possibly catch all the hits, jams, shots, and slams, but we catch it all. Instant replay, Sunday at 9:40 on WGN.
Irresistible. Luscious. The new 99-cent Great Tastes menu at Burger King. 7 mouth-watering items, just 99 cents every day. What could be more tempting?
Are you going to eat all that?
Yeah. If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Budner, get these tax documents to our clients fast, but watch our costs.
FedEx can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11. UPS can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11.
Priority Mail can deliver it in 2 to 3 days for $3.
Smart move, Budner.
So, 11, 11, 3. What's your priority? Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Duke, get down. It's my chair. Let's go. I'm not playing games.
Okay, here we go again.
Oh, Duke.
He's got him right where he wants it. Just a bit outside.
Hey, those dog obedience classes really paid off.
Beautiful, seductive, but deadly.
Come and get me, Nightman.
On the next Nightman.
Sunday night at 10:30 on WGN.
We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Thank you very much. Beautiful banner here at Wrigley Field. Fans wearing the big glasses. A wonderful day to not only remember my grandfather, Harry Caray, but perhaps to celebrate a Cubs win. As the Cubs lead this game by a score of 3-1, yes, indeed. Hope he's among the Angels. Hope he's going to raise the temperature a few degrees today and the rest of this season. As Morandini, Sosa, and Grace set to add to a 3-1 Cub lead. Morandini has flied to left. He has flied to center.
Like a little more insurance, even though Steve Trachsel has certainly settled down after giving up a run in the first. He's given up just 1 hit after that.
And has set down 8 consecutive Montreal hitters. He said earlier, the colder the better. And he certainly has lived up to his promise.
Well, Steve knows that he does give up a lot of fly balls, and he also knows with the wind blowing in, you can get away with a few mistakes. He hasn't made too many mistakes today, and I look for a big year out of Steve Trachsel.
Who again struggled at times last year with an 8-12 mark. 0-2 to Mickey. He takes high. One thing I really like about this team, and it's again only 3.5 games or so, but there's no quit on this ball club. Well, talking to the guys, on the plane and the bus last night, 6-0 down last year. It's over. There's no comeback involved in that game.
Well, you had very little thunder except for Sammy in the lineup, and also a right-handed breaking baller against a pretty much right-handed dominated lineup made it pretty tough to score. But when you look at the lineup and you've got Johnson, Morandini, Grace, and Rodriguez, 4 of the first 5 hitters, good left-handed hitters against a right-hand pitcher, you're going to get to him.
The 2-2 outside, and then of course, as we saw when Florida threw a left-hander at us, Jim Riggleman has the flexibility to shuffle the lineup so that you can't stack either lefties or righties against you late in the game.
And then you move Ori behind Sosa, and he has the big day.
3-2. Swung on, hammered into center. But Santangelo puts it away. There's out number 1. Cubs fans, make sure you pick up the first 1998 issue of Cubs Quarterly magazine. This special yearbook edition features Harry Caray on the cover and includes a tribute to the late broadcasting great. It also contains articles and photos previewing the 1998 Cubs. Cubs Quarterly, available now at Wrigley Field, but reserve your copy of this collectible magazine in advance by calling 800-248-WINS. And remember, accept no invitations. Ask for Cubs Quarterly by name. Here's Sammy Sosa.
And don't forget, when Montreal leaves town after that Monday game, the New York Mets come on for 3, and we do have tickets available for the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday Met series.
1-0 to Sammy. Breaking ball hit hard into the hole into left field for a base hit. And of course, he's a threat to steal, knowing of Widger's problems behind the plate.
Well, I got to believe that Sammy is going to take off as we watch a bullet of a ground ball. This is a hanging curveball. He drives it right by Grudzielanek. The only thing Sammy has to beware of is that Vazquez has a pretty decent move to first base. If you can guess right, I think you can take advantage of Widger. So let's see if Sammy gets a little bit bigger lead early, forces the move so he can at least see the move of Vazquez, and then takes off.
Downstairs to Mark Grace, who has walked. He has singled. He has, yes, stolen a base. And he scored on the Grudzielanek error. Cubs enjoying a 3-1 lead, trying to run their record to 3-1. With Game 2 tomorrow afternoon, Terry Mulholland against Mark Valdez. Sosa fakes, doesn't go. Grace takes a strike. Sammy, a good lead. Draws the throw and dives back easily.
Well, if I'm Vazquez and I'm holding a little better move back, this is the time to do it, because I think Sammy's going to be going. If you're Felipe Alou, it's not a bad time to call a pitch out.
1 ball, 1 strike, not going. Grace jackknifes away again.
He quick pitched him that time. Sammy took the quick step, and Vazquez quick pitched Mark Grace, but lost all sight of the strike zone. And we'll watch it again. He comes to the quick set, but he was rushing his motion to combat Sammy and missed by a mile.
Better move, but Sosa back again with ease. The comeback Cubs have the lead this afternoon. The stretch now. Oh, they almost had him. Sosa was leaning towards second.
That was the best move that Vazquez has, and now Sammy has seen it. He's seen his fairly quick move and his very quick move, and now if he does want to go, he can go on this pitch. Sammy does get back easily under the Fulmer tag.
Grace sends a drive into right, but Guerrero a good jump. And there are 2 down. Streaking back to first is Sosa. One on, 2 out. And here's Henry. He just missed a homer his first time up. The wind knocked it down in right field. And he's also flied to left.
Wind blowing straight in. As you can see, it's very much a pitcher's day, but the ball will go out in right center and down the right field line. When Henry hit his shot, he hit it a little more towards center field than he would like. If he gets out ahead of one, he can take it way back. Henry is awfully strong.
Right down the middle. It's 0-1.
There's Felipe Alou, who spent 17 years in this organization before getting his shot as a major league manager. And when he got his opportunity, he quickly established himself as one of the best in the business.
Low and away. Is it fair to say he gets more out of less than any manager in baseball?
Well, I certainly think that he's within the top 2 or 3 in that category. He makes you want to play for him. He explains it to you. He's a very good teacher, and yet he's a strong enough man. If you don't do what he says, he gently lets you know that he would like you to do it another way.
Again to first. And again, Sammy back. Crowd boos as Vazquez makes that throw to first. And think about all the players Alou has lost when you look at that 470 wins in 7 years. 1-1 runner goes, swing and a miss. Widger's throw high, but in time. Great tag as Sosa's gunned down 2-6. And that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We go to the 6th inning. It's the Cubs by 2.
Budner, get these tax documents to our clients fast, but watch our costs.
FedEx can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11. UPS can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11.
Priority Mail can deliver it in 2 to 3 days for $3.
Smart move, Budner.
So, 11, 11, 3. What's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Hey, what's that? What's what?
Iceberg right ahead!
Need a new fishing boat? New fishing gear? Your favorite auto parts store's gone fishing. Napa's giving away die-wall fishing kits with your Zuri lures at every store and 8 Ranger boats with Evinrude motors. Come on in for that Gone Fishing sweepstakes and sale. Now get Max Car Care products, your choice, for only $1.69.
This copyright telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has right of approval of the announcers and is intended solely for the private and non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is strictly prohibited.
Today's Discover Card Payback takes us back to yesterday when Rod Beck preserved a Cubs comeback with his 200th career save. The Cubbies' new closer shut the door on the Marlins with a game-ending punch-out of the pesky Craig Counsell. A milestone save for Beck. A great come-from-behind win for the Cubs. Today's Discover Card Payback. We're back at Wrigley, top of the 6th inning. Happy news to report. Cubs leading it 3-1. Mark Grudzelanek, a long, loud foul ball single down the left field line, and Steve Trachsel gets the home opener assignment. So far, he's passed with flying colors. Breaking ball hangs up, and he fouls it away.
Don't you want to call him Grizelniak just once?
I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Okay.
You can, though.
We'll go with Grizelniak and maybe throw in a Mark G on occasion.
Or the G-Man. I remember the G-Man. That was another... I almost fell off my sofa one time. I would say, here's the G-Man. The pitch inside. It's 1-2.
Bullpen up and going once again for Montreal. Vazquez has done a nice job, but it is early, and this is his first major league start. And there is the bullpen, and it's former Cub Miguel Bautista, who came over in a trade that's going to pay perhaps some dividends in the future for Montreal, but some immediate dividends for the Cubs in Henry Rodriguez. And that was a dandy of a trade, folks. Ed Lynch pulled off a real good one there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bouncing ball, foul pass serve. How do you say this guy's name again?
Well, we'll call him Grzelcyk for now. And there is the trade. Bautista has a very good arm, but Henry Rodriguez is going to give the Cubs something they've needed for a long time, and that is a powerful left-handed bat to balance out the lineup and give Sammy a little protection against the right-handed breaking ballers.
2-2. That's a solid single into center. So Grzelcyk will lead off safety here in the 6th. The tying run comes to the plate in Jose Vidro.
Well, Grzelcyk was the best of the Expo hitters against Steve Trachsel, 5 for 16 coming in. Now 7 for 19 overall. And if you can hit a pitcher, if you see him well, that trend usually continues. Fortunately, you don't have too many guys on this Expo team that have done a great deal with Trachsel.
In fact, 390, his highest average against any team. That was against the Cubs. And he has 25 stolen bases on his slate for the 1997 season.
Steve Trachsel has never lost to this Expo team. Last year, 2-0. Career-wise, 4-0 with a 3.12 ERA in 8 games. So he didn't mind seeing these boys right when the season opened.
Blauser and Morandini look for a double play chance here. No balls and a strike to Jose Vidro, the Montreal second baseman. And Grzelcyk dives back safely.
I envision the Cubs with Ori, a solid glove man, and the middle infield change. They're going to turn a few more double plays this year, especially if the Cub pitchers throw ground balls. If they get a shot, this double play combination is usually going to turn it.
Paints the corner, 0-2.
It's a bullet of a fastball, and Rich Rieker says it's good enough. Perfect spot from the Southwest Plainview camera. We'll take a look from high overhead. An inch or so off the mark, but certainly good enough. Grzelcyk with good speed, by the way, stole 25 last year.
Not going this time. Bouncing ball weakly towards second. Morandini fields. Good job by Trachsel to cover the bag. Advancing to second is Grzelcyk, but it costs Montreal an out.
It's a lesson for all you young pitchers out there. Every time the ball is hit to the right side, break to the bag, because you never know how far the first baseman is going to range off the bag. In this case, Mark couldn't get to it, and Trachsel right there to make the play.
And now he's got to worry about Vladimir Guerrero. He rattled the cage and left his first time up. He reached on a triple, scored, and has bounced out. Well, this guy has superstar written all over.
Well, Guerrero out of the Dominican Republic. And along with his brother, he was in the Dodger Academy down there, and they decided that they were going to pass on Vladimir and keep Wilton. Wilton's a good player. Vladimir can be a star.
Fouled back. That got a big piece of the umpire, Rich Rieker, but I think he's all right. No balls and a strike. Let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
Chip and Stoney here at Wrigley. 1-1 to Guerrero. I wonder what this guy could have done had he stayed healthy last year. In just 90 games, 11 homers, 40 runs batted in.
And bear in mind, he's playing with a very big home park in Montreal.
Inside, 2 balls and a strike. which now has the roof off, I understand. In Montreal, they're taking the roof off. They had more problems with it, and they have to put it back on later.
We're going to get a chance to see it up close and personal on this next road trip.
Fouled off his foot. Ouch. On a cold day, that does not feel good. 2-2.
Trachsel taking a little something off. This is a forkball. And it gets him right off the left knee.
Reds Atlantic, great speed at second. Guerrero with a base hit could score the second Montreal run. Two and two. Strike three call. Say cheese, Mr. Guerrero. You are strikeout victim number 5.
Well, Rich Rieger expands that strike zone just a touch, but Scott Service set up outside. Steve Trachsel threw it right to the glove. Watch it again. Pretty good pitch, certainly too close to take. And a very tough hitter recovered from the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera. We'll take a look at strike 3. And high atop the wind-swept Wrigley Field, there is a Southwest Airlines Plainview camera, all bundled up today.
Like most of the people the camera is shooting. As Fulmer stands in, he has the lone RBI today for the Expos, and he takes strike 1 call.
There is, if not the majority, certainly a booth full of carries right next to us. From Dutchie on down, generation after generation.
And Susan, my wife, is over there. Summerlin, my daughter. She's a little cold and a little irritable right now, but happy with the score.
I can't blame her. I'm cold and irritable also.
No balls, 2 strikes. And Dutchie's over there getting ready to sing the 7th inning stretch here in the home opener. And these folks are ready to sing with her. 0-2 to Brad Fulmer. That just missed low.
Well, this is a big out. You're only leading by 2. You've gone through the heart of the order. If you can freeze Grzelcyk at second base, that gets you through with a 2-run lead. So Steve Trachsel has to bear down on Fulmer, who's a pretty good hitter and has the lone run batted in for the Expos today.
Bouncing ball, foul past first. And Fulmer stays alive. Boy, as good as their farm system is in Montreal, if they could go to a big money city, and if they can't make it work in Montreal, Northern Virginia might be the place they go, and I guess that's the plum site for most teams to move if they have to do it. Think about how scary that would be if they became a free agent player with all this young talent they keep developing.
I think really all they have to do is decide to get the financial community in Montreal behind them, keep the ball club there, and just build a nice ballpark and generate some revenue that way.
Outside 2-2. Montreal, a beautiful city.
Well, I would hate to see it leave the National League, and I think they're drawing more and more baseball fans, a little more interest there on a yearly basis. And if they did have a few bucks to spend, well over, the $9 million they're spending now payroll-wise, this could be a team to contend with in the next few years.
2 balls, 2 strikes. In the dirt, 3-2.
But you really can't keep giving up the Pedro Martinez's of the world and then expect to put together a solid pitching staff. Jim Riggleman looking on, hoping that the Cubs can preserve that 2-run lead, make their home opener a very successful one.